skeptics among you might believe Black Ops 2 to simply be more of the same. Well, you're wrong. A host of improvements to multiplayer make it better than ever. Zombies is more fleshed out and bigger than what's come before. But most of all, Treyarch's taken the campaign in an unexpected direction, delivering on the promise of player choice and divergent stories. This isn't just another Call of Duty. This is, in many ways, a new beginning for the franchise. A benchmark that sets a new standard for not only what fans should expect for the series, but for big-budget shooters in general. Since there's so much to cover in this game, we're going to do things a little differently and break down the game into 3 distinct sections. Let's start with the campaign.
Time on target, 30 seconds. Shit, that was close!
Black Ops 2's campaign has the big moments we've all come to expect. Vehicle crashes? Check. Epic firefights? Yup. But what's really surprising is that the campaign manages to tell a story that not only makes sense, but is also emotionally engaging. This is partially due to the great facial capture Treyarch's employed, cutscenes that help flesh out the story, and great writing. During the Cold War era segments of the campaign, you play as a combination of returning characters from the first Black Ops, while in the very plausible feeling future segments, you play as protagonist Alec Mason's son, David. It'd be easy to muddle the time skipping, but here it's juggled well, coming together to form a story unlike any other in the series. Dark Knight writer David Goyer and game director David Anthony wove together an atypical narrative, with a villain that's both menacing and sympathetic. His name is Raul Menendez, and he forms the foundation for the plot, stealing the spotlight away from the heroes. The story feels decidedly mature, and far less brotacular than the typical COD fare. The best part of Black Ops 2's story, though, is that you get to shape its outcome. Like many people, I was skeptical about how well Treyarch would actually implement player decisions into the campaign, but they've done a fantastic job. Some choices you make are strictly binary, but more often they're subtle, relying on whether or not you finish certain mission objectives. Throughout the story, you'll see that different characters can live or die depending on your actions, and everything you do influences which of the multiple endings you'll get. Of course, shooting is what Call of Duty games do better than the rest, and Black Ops 2 is no exception. The engine may not look as good as some games, but it consistently runs at 60 FPS, resulting in the crisp and responsive controls that no other shooter ever quite matches. There's always plenty to shoot in the campaign, and it's paced well with lots of breaks for more intimate story moments, as well as vehicle segments that put you in control of futuristic jets and creepy spider-like infiltration robots. Combat also feels a bit different depending on the time you're playing in, with Cold War-era weaponry juxtaposed against futuristic yet believable tech of 2025. While they're instrumental to the outcome of the campaign and are a step in a good direction, the Strike Force mission's controls leave much to be desired. These missions place you in control of a group of soldiers, drones, and other units, tasking you with a variety of objectives and forcing you to lead them into battle. You can take direct control of any unit at any time, as well as issue them commands, which is a cool thing to see in action. The problem is that most of the time I felt like I had to win the fight on my own, and since I couldn't even have my forces rally on me, and they only seemed to be great at taking bullets that would otherwise hit me, I generally just ordered all my forces to move to a point. It didn't feel strategic, and it was immensely frustrating. Succeed or fail though, these missions will change the course of your campaign, at times dramatically. That alone makes them worth struggling with.
Nice work, Mason!
Hunter-killer drone on standby.
Once you've gotten through the campaign, it's on to multiplayer, which has also changed in significant ways. It all begins from the moment you start, where you can jump right into regular online multiplayer, getting those endorphin rushes as you constantly level up and unlock items for your loadout. Or you can ease yourself into the experience with combat training against bots, and still earn experience. If that isn't appealing, you can skip the unlock grind and get competitive with the new League Play mode. This mode gets you right into the action, and after 5 placement matches, puts your team in a league where you can fight your way up from. It's a smart addition that shows how forward-thinking Treyarch is when it comes to integrating Call of Duty into the esports scene. What I like about all these options is that it shows that Treyarch doesn't care if you decide to do custom games against bots armed with axes, or if you want to form a team and hit the competitive scene, or even if you just want to learn from the beginning because you've never played the game before. They've made a super encompassing multiplayer experience that accommodates players regardless of their skill level. The desire to give players more choices also comes across in the new Pick 10 class loadout system. Here, every part of a loadout is given a value of 1, and you can delete and edit your perks, attachments, weapons, and accessories until they form a combination that adds up to 10. They've also added a new set of options called wildcards into the mix, which allows you to break game rules, giving you access to, say, 3 attachments on a weapon, or even allowing you to take more than 3 perks in a loadout. All in all, this results in the most robust created class system to date, and gives even the most experienced players a host of new classes to try, tweak, and experiment with. Additional modes return alongside fan favorites to create a multiplayer you can easily lose hours to. On top of standard modes like Team Deathmatch, Capture the Flag, and Search and Destroy, as well as the returning Kill Confirmed, we get the fun options of Hardpoint and multi-team battles. Hardpoint is essentially a King of the Hill mode with a roaming capture pool. The multi-team battles mix things up considerably though, changing the dynamic of modes by allowing you to play 3 teams of 4, or 4 teams of 3, or a number of other combinations. When 4 or more small packs of players are roaming a map of Kill Confirmed, it gets nuts, creating an intensity and competitiveness that larger 2-team battles just can't match. If you want others to see the madness and are playing on PS3 or Xbox, you can even live stream your matches. Black Ops 2 social features are easily as elaborate as last year's Modern Warfare 3, with added features that give even the most hardcore players interesting ways to stay connected to Call of Duty, even when they're not shooting. You can watch and create videos in theater, spectate in matches and shoutcast them afterwards, or, for PS3 and Xbox 360 players, check out your stats in an array